good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Happiness is Real morning show. Today, I hope that we have no technical challenges. I made sure that I was unmuted, I was not muted, and we are just ready to rock and roll. I just want a big disclaimer. If it's kind of flickering in the background, especially if you're watching here from this channel, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, my apologies. We changed. We got a new office yesterday because we got a new operational manager on board, and we got some new lamps. And apparently, they don't work with my camera. We're gonna fix it. But I hope, despite this flickering, that you stay tuned today because I have something very important I want to share with you, and I hope that inspires you to take whatever actions you need to take. Um, and yes, welcome again to the show. I'm your host, Camilla Calberg. I'm the founder of Calberg Coaching, and I'm the coach that help executive thrive before, during, and after divorce, and I help you create a better life because it is possible um, to create a better life, even though you are going through a divorce, and tap into happiness. Um, all right, so let's get started. Actually, and I just want to do one announcement. Today, my calendar is open for laser coaching intensives, and thanks so much for all those of you who have reached out. I still have a few seats left. So if you are in a situation where you really want or need to have some real life and real time strategies on how to maneuver whatever is coming up your way, may also be at work. Your boss is really not like, is really toxic. You have some tight deadlines. Your team is not performing. We're getting like into Q2. How are you gonna hit the marks? If there's any challenges that comes up your way, and you want a here and now real time strategy and another pair of eyes, contact me right now. I'm here to help. All right, with no further ado, let's jump into today's episode. Today, like yesterday, if you watched it, it's gonna be a bit heavy, and I just had to put that out as a disclaimer. This week, I'm talking about divorce of a bad family environment from the eyes of a kid, and I'll share my what my daughter experienced, but I also share how some of my clients' children experienced how their mom and dad reacted when going through a divorce, and how they were led to take the driver's seat or step into a more adult role that they were actually ready to do. All right, but today it's about how to help your child heal. For Since my daughter was 3 or 4, she said to me, "Mommy, my heart is crying." Now today, when I shared it actually yesterday a bit, and it was tough on me. Today, I feel I'm a bit more into the flow of it, and I have a distance, and that's what's really important, to have the distance. I'm gonna talk about 3 things that you're gonna or you can do to actually help your children heal if they're stuck in a toxic relationship, and no, sorry, if they're stuck in a bad family environment where you and your partner really do not know how to communicate, or you're going through divorce and still you haven't healed, you haven't asked for help, and so you can't help your children. Or if you have divorced, but actually you have not healed, you haven't asked for help, and then your children would experience that they actually, in Danish, a castable, that they are just like a sack of potatoes going from that mom with different structures. And the one is trying to convince that this is the right way of being, and the other partner say this is how you're going to be, and don't listen to you other parent. All right. um so for since she was 4, she told me, "Mommy, my heart is crying." And hi Mirella, nice to see you there. And It was really tough. It was really tough. I had no one to talk to about this. I didn't know what to do. I had no books to read about it. Um, I start sharing those experiences and sad moments with my coach. I've been working with a coach long before I actually start planning for divorce, and I think that's the reason why I thrived, and I still claim that you can thrive when even in the planning phase of your divorce or your family breakup, if you worked on yourself. So I start sharing that with my coach, and she said, "Well, how strong a girl she is and clever that she at the age of 4 can tap into how she feels is that's not normal from such a young human being, but she can and she did. And in the beginning I had on and a hand on heart, I was terrified, like how can this young girl of mine tell me even words I have never used, um, that the heart is crying. Very, very powerful. Um, I start to work with also a therapist, a psychologist, and I got a psychologist on board to help my daughter. And what I realized in this, we had a very bad period with the dad, and it was again and again she couldn't find rest when she was going to sleep, and it was very, very tough, I tell you. And you've been in this situation, this probably resonates with you. It's very tough to hear your child or your children tell you how they suffer. My body is responding now. And I'm just about, it's really, really tough because what you want is to give your children the unconditional family environment where they can just relax. But if the if the parents cannot have a nice tone of voice at home, how on earth is it possible for a young boy or girl to find happiness? So when she started to open her heart and tell me how she experienced her family environment, I luckily was in the middle of completing my coaching certification. So I had by that point in time I have trained to listen non-attached. And it was so tough. It was so tough to listen, but I had to listen. I got the opportunity to listen, and I asked some questions without directing her what how she felt and whether it was really true. Um, and so that is listen, listen, listen. Until I said I'm gonna tell you 3 things, and actually put it in my tagline here. Listen, listen with the intention to understand. That is so important. And what you have to do and train yourself in doing is to be detached from what your children or your child is sharing. Because if you live in a bad family environment or that affects your health, you will obviously your children will tell you how they feel, and you won't like it or you don't like it. But you have to be detached from what they tell you how it is, and it's really about just saying it's tough. I know it's tough because I've been there and I was crying. I was crying inside, but I was not showing that I was crying. So, about being detached, you have to be detached in order for your children to tell you how they feel. And when you listen to what they tell you, and when you're detached, you don't influence the situation, because I know so many people, and I think that's especially in high conflict divorce cases where I'm a recognized coach. I know that from it, and it's no gender. Men and women can influence the case in their favor, but that's the okay. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer, so I shouldn't say what I'm about to say. But don't do it. Don't do it, because then it's just a sign that you need help, but you don't do your children a favor. So that's why you should stay detached. And then what you do is that then you know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, if you haven't yet asked for help, then you ask for help or you browse. So what I did was I haven't even looked it up what we call it in English, but there's a helpline, a lifeline for children. It's a lifeline open, I think, from 3 in the afternoon to 11 p.m. There's also a helpline for parents. The lifeline for children is supposed to be children ringing in. And they are supposed to have the conversation by themselves. But my daughter, she was not in a position, she was not mentally ready. She didn't have the words to express how she felt. So sometimes, very late at night, I rang this helpline, and I had to be, my body's responding now, and it's very tough. I had to be detached, and I was the mediator. I was a channel between the therapist, the helper, on the phone on the help center, and my daughter. And we have this. I don't even have right now. Oh, sorry, I'm getting wet eyes now. But we have a turtle, the speaker, and I was bridging between the two. And this therapist, she managed with success to calm my daughter. And then it's tough here. She could fall asleep. And that's what, sorry for this. This is really tough on me. But that's what you are able to do when you have worked on yourself, when you are have deep listening skills, and when you stay detached and you know what is best for your child. I'm sorry, this is very tough for me. But what is really, really important is that you do that in order to help your children or your child heal in an environment they have been put in an environment that they cannot escape from. They are dependent on you. They're dependent on your partner. And so if you keep your children in that black hole, what will you do? You will just make that bad emotions or the negative emotions bigger and bigger. And what will happen is that it will affect their well-being, emotional, mentally, and psychologically. It's a no for me, sorry, but this is a no-go. And that's why I'm so strong in this with love, that you have to heal first. If you haven't healed, you're not able to listen with deeper listening skills. You're not able to be detached because you think that it's a verbal attack. It's attack on your personality, that you haven't done enough as a mom and just being expected to do more. But no, when you know how to practice being detached, you can actually facilitate very powerful conversation. And then I put here respond, and you can respond and you can react. No, you don't react. You respond and you act. And the reason why I said you don't react is because that is like this, right? You don't react. We don't react. We respond, because when you respond, you create powerful solutions. And we are all up for powerful solutions. I am up for powerful solutions, and I'm up for setting you up for success. And if I set you up for success, I will also help you set your children up for success. And so, as ending this for me very powerful session today, I want to share that when you go in and help your children heal, then you will get love back. And soon after, my partner moved out. It was my property. She said to me, "Mommy, you become a much happier person." And that type of love, you feels whatever you're a mom or your dad, and you're the primary caretaker, and you help your children grow and you help your children thrive. That sticks in your heart. That story sticks with you for the rest of your life, and you know what to do and when to do it. And so remember, Listen with intention to understand. Be detached. Pra- practice, rehearse to be detached, and then respond like act. What do you need to do in order to help your child heal the trauma that you subconsciously have created, because you have created that, right? It was not from intention. It was not because you don't love your children, but that was the condition you were in. And that's so it is. We observe on this, but you get the opportunity to respond. And that is the beauty when you work with someone who can help you heal, and that you will love, and with nice nudges help you move forward so that you can help your children heal and grow much faster than I tell you than any other psychologist or therapist could ever imagine. Because when I could do it, you can as well. This ends today's episode of the Happiness is Real morning show. And I'm gonna share one thing. I don't want to share two things. Remember, first, if you haven't yet booked your laser coaching intensive session, go now. Send me a note or drop me a comment on whatever platform we're connecting right now. But send me a note at Camilla@calbergcoaching.com, and my team will reach out to you and help you book a laser coaching session. And from tomorrow, I am so happy to share that with you. Tomorrow, I'm going to rebrand this morning episode to divorce mindset. And the reason for that is that soon I'm going to launch divorce mindset podcast, and exactly in 2 weeks. So that's why we're doing a brand shift, a name shift, but the quality is going to stay the same. All right. So, with this, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you found value in this, please take a moment to drop me a comment, as well as take a screenshot and share this with your friends on your favorite social platforms, to help your friends and your loved ones thrive through major life transitions like divorce. And remember, it's so important for me to share and emphasize this: happiness is real wherever you are in your divorce journey. And remember, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And remember, that tunnel can be as short as you want, as long as you reach out for help. It is so important to remember this. And remember, help is not an option if you want to thrive fast, it's a requirement. And remember also that your best life and the next chapter of your life can truly be your best life yet, the best one yet. And I bet it will be. And it is my honor to be on your journey together with you and help you, support you through the process. This wraps up today's episode. Remember to tune in daily for inspiration and practical advice to help you create a more thriving, better, more abundant future on the other side of divorce. Enjoy this beautiful Tuesday. Bye for now.